ब्रेकपछि फेरि स्वागत छ गुड मर्निङ नेपालमा र ब्रेकमा जानु अघि हामीले अलिकति आज चर्चा गरिसक्यौँ आजको विशेष दिनको बारेमा किनकि आज हामीसँग जुडिरहनु भएको छ एक विशेष अतिथि। आजको शोको बारेमा हामीले कुरा गरिराख्दाखेरि हामीले अलिकति चर्चा गरिसक्यौँ कि कसरी गुड मर्निङ नेपालमा हामीले हरेक एपिसोडलाई स्पेशल बनाएर आउँछौँ र स्पेशल बनाउनको लागि इट्स भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट टु हेभ सम भेरी स्पेशल गेस्ट हु आर हियर टु सेलिब्रेट द रिलेसन बिट्विन Nepal and Bangladesh. And when we talk about Bangladesh, we have a very esteemed personality from Bangladesh himself, who is a very esteemed personality, who is a very exceptional guest, who is also joining us today here. He is very popular because he is one of the very esteemed judges of Shark Tank Bangladesh and a very visionary serial entrepreneur. And he is none other than Nazim Farhan Chaudhary. Let's welcome him to Good Morning Nepal. Welcome to our show. Welcome to Nepal.
Namaste. Thank you, Priya.
So you are here in Nepal. My first question would be, this is your first time here in Nepal or not?
No, it isn't. I've been regularly coming ever since I was a little boy.
Oh, so yes. It's been quite a long time that you are here in Nepal.
It's been, well, last time I was here about 2 years ago.
Oh,
so it's been a while. But
so what do you love the most about Nepal then?
I love the people.
Oh.
They have so much warmth and hospitality. I mean, it's incredible.
Yes, I agree with that as well. And what about the foods? Have you tried any foods here that you really love the local cuisine here?
I got out of the plane yesterday morning, and first thing I had to have is some of the momos.
Momos.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Our momos are quite popular. Momos and our achars, pickles. So
Absolutely.
you love that.
I love that.
And you are at the perfect time to enjoy momos because I think it's winter and momos are a very good blend as well. So you like momos, you like people here in Nepal. So you said you arrived yesterday?
Yesterday,
and you'll be going back tomorrow?
I am. It's a very short visit.
Very short visit. So what's the purpose for you to come to Nepal this time?
Yeah, so I have a company called Strategy Central. That's
yes.
a brand, a strategic planning and consulting business. We have partnered up with a very good friend of mine from Nepal,
yes.
who's also in advertising, and he has a company called Creo. And we are putting together a brand consulting unit here in Nepal. We've done it successfully in Bangladesh. So my background, if I can give
yes.
you, is in advertising and branding. And my company's been around for 50 years. I myself have been 30 years in the trade.
Yes.
So we have successfully helped build a lot of Bangladeshi brands. And as you know, Nepal, quite like Bangladesh, has a lot of international players in the market or
yes.
very strong regional players.
Yeah.
And in that, we still need to find out how Bangladeshi or Nepali brands can survive and build.
Yes.
So it's more than just advertising.
So as you said that this is more than advertising, and you have been in this field for like around a lot of decades, like
yes.
almost more than 3 decades.
That is true.
And when you have such a long experience, there are lots of responsibilities comes together as well. Establishing so many things in Bangladesh already, what was it just for you that you want to do something in Nepal as well?
So the gentleman that I have partnered with here,
yes.
his name is Ujaya. Ujaya and I have been knowing each other for almost 2 decades, and he has established a business group here, which is in advertising, does really well.
Yes.
And we've been meeting regularly in conferences across the world,
yes.
particularly in Asian conferences.
Yes.
And we've always been talking, and
yes.
that, look, we have clients who are local,
yes.
have good products, who have ambition, but somewhere we don't manage to compete with a lot of the regional players
yes.
or the global players.
Yes.
We don't have enough resources, and at times we don't have the expertise that they have. So he's been saying that, look, you guys have been doing a good job creating Bangladeshi brands.
Yes.
Can we do the same for Nepali brands?
Yes.
And that's what we sort of said, yeah, why don't we shake hands on that and start seeing how do we get local brands to have a roadmap to becoming strong contenders, being strong brands.
Yes.
So if you actually go into your supermarkets,
yes.
How many Nepali brands would you see, and how many non-Nepali brands do you see? And how do we change that dynamics? Because every country needs to have their brands.
Exactly.
And it's finding those strong brands that can be a good sort of a dynamic multiplier for the economy.
Yes.
So once the businesses flourish,
yes.
the economy also flourishes.
I think you really touched the very right point, right key areas as well, because when we start a business or we want to do something, we see how we want to grow locally, and we we forget that we have a potential to reach globally as well, or starting even from the region as well. But we feel that there is a limitation. But I don't think so, as according to, as you also mentioned, there are lots of ways of working out if we have the right mentorship or right guidance.
Absolutely.
And it needs to start for somewhere.
Yeah.
And it is, maybe it is going around, but it's not going very aggressively, because we need such business initiatives to be branded in a very aggressive way as well. And that is what you are trying to do. And while you are trying to do so, because you have very long experience in the field itself, working for the Bangladeshi brands and trying to also see the landscape here in Nepal, the dynamics in youths to build their businesses locally and to go regionally, do you think we are capable enough, or we are in a position where we want to risk it? We can take the risk because we are still somehow narrowing down to just having local products, like being safe in what we are doing. So how we convince ourselves that we can go regionally? We need the consultation, we need the mentorship.
So we are living in very interesting times now.
Yes.
Because now you can do something in Kathmandu or in Dhaka or Lagos or Bolivia or wherever, and you can reach a global audience.
Exactly.
Because you can put things out and people will do that. Nowadays, for example, I can listen to Arabic music online. I can use the Bolivian music online, and we do. Biggest hits have come out from Korea and other places. So if those countries can find audiences, why cannot our countries find audiences?
Exactly.
And even if we look at the region, a lot of our regional players are also going international. They're going global.
Yes.
And we can do the same. I mean, we have, say, Nepal, you have so many foreign visitors coming every year visiting Nepal on tourism purposes. They can take those stories and take it out, right? So one of the biggest brands in beverage is one called Red Bull, right?
Yes.
Red Bull became that big because one Austrian gentleman had gone to Thailand for a holiday and saw the drink and took it global.
Yes.
So similarly, there's potential for brands to go global.
Yes.
And we can create these brands. Now, brands is more than just advertising. Yes. Advertising is awareness.
Awareness.
Right? So I'm going to say, okay, this is out there, and that's advertising. But building a brand is more than just advertising.
Advertising.
It's about how do you convince consumers about it? What's the roadmap to that growth? How do you have a customer care? How do you interact with the customer when they have a complaint maybe?
Yes. So in today's time, do you agree that brand is much more about storytelling? Is it same or not?
Brand's always been about storytelling, but now it's more than storytelling, I would say, because brand has now become personified.
Yes.
Earlier days, you would put one, advertisement on Kantipur TV or on the Post in the morning, and that's it.
Yes.
Now the brands live in a world where you don't have to only control the narrative. Consumers control the narrative.
Exactly.
I can get on tomorrow and say, hey, I love this brand and it was great. And people will have a sort of good reputation to that brand.
Yes.
I remember about 3 days ago, I had bought this, there's a local bread we have called Bakur Khani, which is a local Bangladeshi bread. So I did a small thing. I took an Instagram picture of that and I put it up. And a lot of people wrote to me, hey, where did you get that bread? And so I linked the guys. This morning, that guy is saying that, Farhan Bhai, thank you so very much because my sales have gone off the roof.
Wow.
Just one picture that one person has put in, right?
Yes.
So we have to manage that customer experience.
Yes.
And that doesn't happen by itself. Brand needs to have a roadmap. Where am I today? Where do I want to go?
Yes.
And that is where brand consulting comes in.
It's not only about what we make as a product, but we also how we sustain it through branding, and great branding can only come when we, as you just mentioned about the aspects, there are lots of indicators to define that are we going in the right roadmap or not. So for that, definitely we need that consulting. We need we really need a very strong mentorship as well, because today today what we also feel that, I don't know, have you felt that lots of entrepreneur dynamics has changed, especially post-COVID. If we see lots of dynamics towards how we want to be an entrepreneur, like entrepreneurship has been very different. It has been like a trend today, and because of that, we see businesses registering, like flourishing for a year, and after that we just see the graph going down as well. What are the reasons do you think that is also happening after COVID, especially when we saw lots of businesses growing and we again see businesses coming down? What was the reason? Do you think that we made a product but we are not being able to be consistent with it? That was also a reason, do you think, that it happened?
Yeah, so when you first come into the market and you create some advertising and push behind it, there's a lot of hype and people come in and try the product, right? So that's, then if you don't consistently hold on to the quality, the price, the experience that you give, is the brand experience consistent over time? And if you don't have that, consumers move out and they will try something else.
Yes.
But once you have understood this is what my consumers are wanting, and this is the little thing that I am fulfilling in their lives, can I build on that, and can I find more consumers in it? So branding is an art, it's a science. You actually have to spend time and help put it together.
Yes.
So it's almost like when you have a small child, everyone can just go through an education.
Yes.
But you will still need to, a good parent would nurture and say, okay, my daughter needs to be or wants to be this, or she has a talent there. Can we nurture that talent?
Yes.
And can we bring it there? So once you have that roadmap and you have that consistency in delivering on that roadmap, that is when brands become more than just a product.
Yes.
Otherwise, we'll just become products.
A product that will come and that will have an expiry and we won't even remember it. So
exactly.
It's all about having that roadmap for the consistency. So when we talk about your journey in itself, in Bangladesh, you are a very esteemed figure as well. You are one of the judge of Shark Tank, which has like took over South Asian region like anything, not only in South Asia, but all over the world, how Shark Tank has took over the world and how it has actually built the entrepreneur spirit. We can see it from Shark Tank. And you are one of the judge of Shark Tank Bangladesh. So how was that journey for you as an investor? How for you decided that I should be part of this? What was the realization?
So I've been involved in the startup ecosystem for now 15 years or so.
15 years.
So I've been doing that I've been helping out a lot of companies through mentorship and investments. So when the Shark Tank Bangladesh edition was being launched, the producers reached out to me and I said yes, I said I would love it. And I must say that when I went into Shark Tank, I thought it's going to be like the other businesses that I help out with.
Yes.
It'll be the same old in IT and so on. But when I went in, I was so surprised to see the diversity of businesses that came in, from small little things to big ones. And we got a lot of traction from across Bangladesh in different age groups and different genders. And so I think that itself was an eye-opener for me.
Yes.
And I understand there's going to be Shark Tank in Nepal soon.
Yes.
And I'm sure you'll be surprised with that as well.
Yes.
The diversity of ideas that you'll get.
So in Bangladesh, what kind of ideas that came into your, when you were judging, what were the ideas that really hit you? Like, what makes a great pitch? When we as an entrepreneur, we want to do something, we think that our product is everything, and we forget to how to pitch it, or how pitch is important. So for you, what was a great pitch that you still remember it, and maybe you even invested in it? Any investments you have made in Shark Tank in Bangladesh? I
actually made too many investments.
Okay.
My finance guy is not too happy with me because I've spent so much money in there.
Okay.
But I think
the highlights.
So I think there's a lot of potential that I've seen in Shark Tank Bangladesh, and I'm sure, or you'll see here. When you actually solve what I call a me problem, a problem that you faced and you have found a solution for it, and then you know that, okay, there are 100 more or 1,000 more or 1 million more people like me having the same problem.
Yes.
How do I solve it?
Yes.
And people will see. So I'll give you an example. In Shark Tank Bangladesh, there was this entrepreneur who had problems. He had limited budget. He was a student. So to buying a textbook was very difficult for him to afford it. And then after the semester was over, he had a lot of textbooks left. What does he do? So he used to go and sell it to a local bookstore, get little amount of money. It wasn't enough. So he came up with an idea of starting this platform where you can sell your old books, and new students coming in the next semester can buy those old books at a discount. And then when their term is over, you sell it back. So it's a buy and sell of old textbooks.
It's very circular as well.
It's very circular.
Yes.
So same book, because actually editions can change, but books usually don't. Principles of economics is not changing.
Oh yes. Oh, that's lovely.
So if you're buying and selling, if you look at it, what you are basically doing, it's almost renting it, because you're buying it at the beginning of the semester and selling it back. So that little time, it's a small amount of money that you're putting in.
Yes.
So Booktionary.com, he started, and it's going really great, because he has solved a problem that he had, and now there's there's
lots of untapped market. He might be had
there's
never
100,000
had
students in Bangladesh who go through the same problem every semester, right?
Wow, that's lovely. And while when we were getting ready, I talked to you about your skin is really glowing, and what is the reason behind it? And you also said that you also invested in an aesthetic industry as well. Can you give a little highlight on it? Because why I am very much into, I'm asking about the aesthetics industries also, because it is taking over the world's market. Do you agree with that or not?
So this is a very interesting example that you brought in. Aesthetic market worldwide has now become very Korean, right?
Yes.
Korean and peels, Korean things like that.
Yes.
Now think of it. Korea has been able to take a product and gone global. Almost like K-pop as well.
Yes,
how many of us know Korean language? But we are watching
We're obsessed with K-pop,
right?
Yes.
So countries have that potential. If K-pop didn't happen overnight, there were people who, and aesthetic Korean and cosmetics didn't happen overnight. They had a roadmap, they did a brand strategy, they've been investing in K-pop back in, since, as I think, the mid-90s they've been doing it, so 20, 25 years they've been pushing it. Now it's been a success. So a brand doesn't happen overnight, you have to nurture it.
Yes.
An interesting thing that I found out, that almost everywhere, let's say before the 90s, the default cuisine in most countries, except your home country, was Italian. You had a pizza and pasta. But now if you go to most countries, after your local food, the next most popular food is Thai food. And how did Thai food happen? What Thai government did in the 90s, they realized that one of the way to introduce people to Thailand, bring in people to come, visit that country, interact with the country, is to get them exposed to Thai food, which is really great. So they started at helping Thai people in any place. If they opened a restaurant, the Thai government used to subsidize that till it became popular. So they had a brand and idea of, I need to create tourism for Thailand. For 20 years, I've been getting Thai food out into the market. Now you go and have Thai food, you'll say, oh, okay, this is so good, I must go to Thailand.
I must go to Thailand.
So brands are like that, be it Korean cosmetics, be it Sri Lankan tea, be it Thai food, Thai tourism. You build a brand across many years, and you nurture that brand across that. So it's just not about creating one ad. So I'm sure Nepal has these hidden gems.
We do.
You can find out. Somebody was telling me just about last week when I told him I'm coming to Nepal. He said there's this mushroom that grows in Nepal, which is really good. There's that, and I'm thinking that if I hadn't heard of it except for this Bangladeshi gentleman telling me. Now, if Nepal actually has that, can they identify that and look at the health benefits or the other benefits of this mushroom and create a brand for it on the long term? So like now you'd want to have a Darjeeling tea or Sri Lankan tea. You would want to have this a Nepali mushroom.
Yes.
So these are things that
actually there are
only
lots
brands
of
can do.
potential brands that Nepal has already doing. Like when we talk about carpets, when we talk about things like such, we are exporting really well around the world.
Yeah.
Like people remember Nepal for specific things, but that was something that was going from many years. But now, as time is changing, the products can change also. The products can also, there are more potential for more products to grow. As you mentioned about the mushrooms, there can be more, like it can be also maybe the cosmetics, because in Nepal, the skincare is also taking the market slowly, made from the Nepali botanicals, how we can intervene everything, how Ayurvedas, how they can be balanced together and it can be reach out to world in the skin. Same wise, like in upcycled products, sustainable products are also booming. So I think, as you mentioned, we need to understand that where we want to reach, what is our roadmap, and for that, we also need to understand how we want to thrive. And to thrive, it's very important that we have strong consulting. We believe that कि एउटै मान्छेले हरेक चीज जीवनमा गर्न सक्दैन, त्यसको लागि हामीलाई साथ चाहिन्छ र त्यो साथको लागि पनि जसरी नजिम जी नेपाल आउनु भएको छ, त्यसरी उहाँले आफ्नो यही प्रोत्साहन र हौसला चाहिँ धेरै बिजनेसेसलाई दिन खोजिरहनु भएको छ कि उहाँले एउटा यस्तो रोड म्याप बनाइदिने, जसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ यसरी नै नेपाल मात्रै नभइकन चाहिँ नेपालबाट ग्लोबली रिजनली र ग्लोबली नै यसलाई पुग्नलाई पनि स्ट्रङ बनाउनुको फाउन्डेसन बनाउनुको पनि यसले कसरी मद्दत पुर्याउँछ भनेर र यस्तै चर्चाहरू गर्न बाँकी नै छ। तर यो छोटो ब्रेकपछि I just summarized in Nepali for what we just had conversation.
तपाईको फेभरेट रियल अब नयाँ ट्रेन्डी पेट बोतलमा।
तपाईले पनि नेपाल टेलिकमको एप डाउनलोड गर्नु भएको छैन भने अहिले नै गरिहाल्नुस् अनि 1 GB डेटा बोनस पाउनुहोस्।
नेपाल टेलिकम, राष्ट्रको सञ्चार।
सजिलो अनलिमिटेड प्याक, सधैँ जोडिनुहोस् जहाँ मन लाग्छ जब मन लाग्छ।
Stay connected, stay happy.
नेपाल टेलिकम, राष्ट्रको सञ्चार।
Brought to you by तपाईको फेभरेट रियल अब नयाँ ट्रेन्डी पेट बोतलमा।
ब्रेकपछि फेरि स्वागत गर्न चाहन्छु गुड मर्निङ नेपालमा। आज हामीसँग हुनुहुन्छ नजिम फरहान चौधरी, एकदमै स्ट्रङ एन्टरप्रेन्योर, एकदमै राम्रो ठुलो, एकदम इम्पोर्टेन्ट नेम अफ बङ्गलादेश। As we were talking about how a roadmap is important and how branding is important, as your expertise are there, as an investor you have seen the pictures that has how it should be a me problem. While there are so many things to run a business, it really needs a skill. What do you think that today we really need to have one skill trait or one skill that would really uplift our businesses? One skill, if you have to say.
Well, it's very difficult to bring it down to one skill.
Okay, three. I'll give you three. I'll give you three.
Yeah, you have to be well-rounded. But I think one place I see entrepreneurs in Bangladesh, and I know people in Nepal because I've been coming in. We have this tenacity to succeed. You know.
Yes.
People bring us down for whatever reason, you know. You have an earthquake, but you rebuild. You don't say, oh, I have an earthquake, I'm not going to do anything. You rebuild, and you do better. In Bangladesh, you have a flood, but we come back when we say, okay, we will do something better.
Yes.
So our people have this entrepreneurial nature.
Yes.
We do things when there's hardship given in. And that determination, I think, that zest for doing new things, I think that is the most important trait.
Great.
And so when somebody comes and pitches to me, I see first thing, are you solving a problem? Are you passionate about that problem?
Yes.
Is it actually a problem that you have faced and you want to solve? And then, do you have the understanding that you might need to change things?
Yes.
That, like you had said earlier on, that I have an idea and I get so bogged down to, I like my idea that you don't see the faults on it.
Yes.
Are you willing to listen? Are you willing to course correct, right?
Yes.
And that's also very important. That can I say that I'm humble enough to understand, okay, my idea might need some sort of guidance and I can...
Substandard and structuring.
And yeah. So, everybody will not become an entrepreneur. A lot of people might become business people, but they will not be entrepreneurs. An entrepreneur is finding an idea that nobody else has. Just by saying that, oh, look, that person is successful in selling XYZ product and I'm going to sell XYZ product but cheaper or slightly better, that's not entrepreneurship.
Yes.
That's just another business.
Yes.
Entrepreneur finds a new business. Entrepreneur
Yes.
finds a niche in existing businesses, finds a disruption in that business.
Very true.
So it's not somebody comes in and says, hey, I will start another taxi service. They will come and say, hey, I will do ride sharing because this is the gap in the market.
Yes.
That's when Uber comes in.
Yes.
Or that's where Airbnb comes in, or that's where Facebook has come in, or,
Yes.
or Tesla is setting in. They've looked at the existing industry and said, what is the problem I have? What's the me problem? How can I do it better?
Yes, and that's really important. I think we need to be very passionate about what we do, but with it needs to come with lots of humbleness that I need guidance, I need consulting, I need people to guide me through, because that is what we do in 2025, because that's how we are moving digitally as well, because there's so many, as I just mentioned about digital challenges as well, the branding, the advertising that used to happen like a decade before, and now it is changing. It's like people are consuming with too many informations, and it's so tough for brands to have brands to like stand out. How do we stand out? It's really quite a challenge for businesses, because there's too many things going on in social media, in digital age.
Yeah. So, as a matter of fact, there's staggering statistics I've been looking at. Earlier on, let's say a brand could put up one post maybe a day.
Yeah, day.
Now, through AI power, you can literally put up a post every hour.
Exactly.
That's the amount of surge in content you'll see.
Yes.
Once AI comes in. Now, then that becomes is how do I as a brand connect to my consumers, and how do I become effective and cut through the clutter and still connect, right? And how do I build that relationship with it? There are millions of people in the world, right? But you, with your best friend, doesn't matter how many people are there, you are going to connect.
Yes.
Because both of you have figured out this is where each one gives to the other.
Yes.
So a brand is about that.
Yes.
Finding one consumer and putting a relationship that cuts across clutter. And that's where the brand consulting thing that Strategy Central and Creo are doing, is creating those relationships and trying to figure out, okay, this is what my brand stands for. So it doesn't matter if there is a post coming out once a week, once a day, or once every 5 minutes. This is what the relationship needs to be, because my consumers, my people, my loyal users will break through clutter and connect to me. This is how.
Because why I even mentioned about this question is because we want to reach regionally, we need to reach globally, and there is a pressure of digital presence of your brand. The footprint needs to be really amazing so that our search engines supports us, it supports our brand, it supports our products. But it has also been very expensive with time, and it is coming like a very huge challenge. So how do you motivate young entrepreneurs or young businesses who are determining their success on the basis of digital presence?
So I would flip it around. I'd say it's become much cheaper. So because earlier on, if you had to do a brand, you had to shoot a big commercial, go to a TV station, and buy advertising space. And the whole thing would take you so much money. Right now, I believe you're doing upscaling in fashion. I have a small brand that does upscale fashion as well.
Sir.
We take the thing, upscale it, somebody shoots it out, puts it on the Instagram, and our loyal base, customer base, buys it literally then and there. The whole commerce for us is very fast.
Is that loyal base customer enough for us?
Well, yes and no. It depends on the ambition of the business, right? So there is a loyal base that buys into it.
Yes.
Now, we have to figure out, how do I bring that loyal base, make it larger?
Yes.
How do I find the same cohort of people who's buying this? And there are strategies to do this. This is not, well, it is rocket science, but it's a very nice science to do that.
Yes.
And there are algorithms, there are tricks, there are tips on how to do this.
So again, it comes to our roadmap, it comes to everything at what we have, why we started this conversation about the roadmap, and are we again ready to take the consulting, that how we make our brand work even in the digital presence.
Yes.
And while I think there are so many layers that we have to work on, and we have to keep pushing ourselves, we have to be very, very consistent as well. A very different question for you, because I really wanted to ask this. You are an investor and also a judge of Shark Tank as well. So have it ever been an experience that we are just doing, you are not in like in your office, or you're not as in the platform of Shark Tank, you are just somewhere doing your thing and people just come to you and say, please invest on my idea, just looking at you. Has that happened or not?
My best friend refuses to go out to dinners with me.
Oh.
He's like, everywhere we go, there's somebody the other pitching an idea.
Oh, so you are there that the pitch starts.
And after Shark Tank, yesterday I was going through airport security, and the person who was scanning me finished it, and then he said, I saw you in Shark Tank. It was very nice. I have an idea. Can I tell you what I was doing? Searching. And I'm like, okay, here's my card. Get out.
So because I really wanted to ask that, how's that experience has been when people know you now and more? Because when you come to use like again digital presence to people know you more, because from Shark Tank it's very popular. Everyone knows what is happening in Shark Tank, especially in the Bangladesh as well. So is it pressuring for you, like, oh God, have you ever pitched any ideas like that, just walking around you found like this idea was really good and I love to pitch that, you like to invest on that? Is it work like that, or you would like to tell people, no, don't do that?
So both. I love talking to people.
Yes.
And I love getting ideas, because now I figured it out. I don't have to come up with the idea. Somebody else will
somebody else will come. You just need to
I'll
invest.
just find out how to invest and mentor and get richer.
Yes.
And not do the hard work. Get somebody else to do it.
That's lovely.
I do get a lot of people pitching it, and I've heard and I like it. And there's the flip side also. There have been places where I've gone or seen something, and I've seen these things. I said, hey, do you know you can turn this into a business?
Yes.
This is how you can, this is what you can do.
Yes.
And I think I've also seen them, a little light go up in their head. They had not thought of about it. But you can also do that. You're interacting somewhere, and you had a good cup of coffee and you like the service, and you say, okay, can we turn this into a product?
Yeah, good.
So it's both ways. I love it.
Do you feel the pressure or the responsibility?
I don't feel the pressure.
Yes.
Responsibility, yes. So I have been very blessed in the sense that I've been both my parents are business people.
Yes.
The agency that I work for was started by my mother 50 years ago, and she is a dynamic person, and they've created nurturing space for me to explore businesses. And I must tell you, I think they don't often tell this. Yes, I'm a judge in Shark Tank, and I've got a lot of successful businesses, but I've got a lot of unsuccessful businesses as well.
Yeah, and no one talks about that.
Hardly people talk about it. It is that you have to have if you not have failed businesses, if you not have failures, that means you're not trying hard enough.
Yes,
you have
true.
to have failures.
Yes.
And a lot of people ask me what is my most significant business that I have ever done. It was a feminist radio channel that we had launched, and it failed. But even now, with all the things I've done and all the successes that I've had, that is the one that still draws me.
Yeah.
So you have to go out of your comfort zone and take that risk.
Wow.
And there's failures. Yeah, as long as you learn from the failures and next time around do
Yes.
better. There's no reason.
It's just about keep going.
It's about keeping going.
And that would be your message, because we are almost in the end of our show. What would be your last takeaway, last message for all our entrepreneurs or business people who want to really grow in Nepal, in Bangladesh, or planning to go regional, go global? What would be your message to them?
My message, I think, is very simple. The world is our oyster. We can now sell to anybody across the world. We can have that. The tools are available. It doesn't take too much money. All it takes is finding that niche that you have, and sort of believing in yourself and putting some thought behind and the brand that you create, the story that you tell,
Yes.
the outreach that you do.
Yes.
And I think there's a lot of successes. I'm sure next time we have a chat in 2 or 3 years, we'll have 4 or 5 Nepali brands that we can talk about.
Yes, definitely, and we wish you all the best for that. We wish you wishes for that, because we want as much as collaborations we can bring in together, especially when we talk about Nepal and Bangladesh. I think there's lots of potential to be working together, and we feel and we hope that you can bridge that gap as well, and we can bring a lot of solidarity to the true businesses in Nepal and Bangladesh, between Nepal and Bangladesh. And with your very positive energy, with your very positive attitude, we are really grateful that you gave us your time. Despite you are here for only one day, you still gave us your time. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you for having me, Priya.
And with that, we are almost end of our show, जहाँ आज हामीले नजीम फरहान चौधरीसँग कुरा गऱ्यौँ कि एउटा ब्रान्ड बनाउनलाई, एउटा बिजनेस बनाउनको लागि एउटा रोडम्याप कतिसम्म महत्त्वपूर्ण हुन्छ र त्यसलाई हामीले कसरी चाहिँ आफ्नो जीवनमा प्रोत्साहन दिनलाई चाहिँ कति रिस्क लिन रेडी छौँ, कति प्यासनेटली त्यसमा अघि बढ्छौँ र आफ्नो सल्भिङ एटिट्युडलाई पनि कसरी राख्छौँ भन्ने कुरालाई पनि एकदमै धेरै कुराहरू आज उहाँको हामीले यति छोटो समयमा नि सिक्न पायौँ। उहाँको जर्नीलाई हजुरले फलो गर्नलाई उहाँलाई सोशल मिडियाहरूमा नै हजुरले आरामले नै खोज्न सक्नुहुन्छ र यो नोट सँगसँगै कि हामीले आफ्नो लागि जे पनि गर्न सक्छौँ, वर्ल्डमा यति धेरै पोसिबिलिटिज छ, त्यो पोसिबिलिटिजलाई खोज्नुपर्छ, हेर्नुपर्छ र आफूले सानै प्रडक्टबाट सानै स्टोरीबाट पनि सुरुवात गर्यो भने सक्सेस पक्कै पनि हाम्रो छ भन्ने यो मेसेज सँगसँगै अब गुड मर्निङ नेपालबाट बिदा लिने समय भइसकेको छ। हामी फेरि पनि यस्तै विषयहरू लिएर भोलि बिहिबार हजुरसँग जोडिन्छौँ। अहिले हामीलाई बिदा दिनुहोला। हेर्दै गर्नुहोला कान्तिपुर टेलिभिजन। धन्यवाद, नमस्ते।